Hello again, folks. It's Barry with Barry's 8-Track and Classic Car Radio Repair, and we've got an unusual demonstration tonight. It's light outside. Yes, it's 5:45 p.m., and it's light outside, so we're actually going to pick up a couple AM stations. This is a 1970 Delco AM-8 track out of a 1970 Nova SS396, and sent in by John from Lutz, Florida, and he's got an FM conversion on this unit, wired to his original connector, so he won't get the big boost in output power, but he'll get FM reception and AM, needless to say. And we're just going to run it through its paces, make sure everything works before we send her back. So let's turn her on. Okay, we are set to FM at the moment. Oh yeah. Okay, let's just wipe it across the dial with my usual station check. See how many stations we get.
U.S. David Wall engine.
I'm so sorry. So that's what.
This is not necessarily.
Election at Prescott Honda. Take advantage of providing scholarships to the from Black Bart Steakhouse Saloon and Musical Review.
Okay, there's 10.
Full of sunshine. Meet your friends, including hybrid models. These Friday night, Led Zeppelin.
15.
Where are you giving them out? It's whenever you.
Okay, there's 20.
Jaguars Club is your happy.
At least Friday night and into Saturday.
So as we look into the
Family.
1,000 titles, anytime, anywhere in.
Okay, those 30 FM stations so far.
Driving sound good. Plus.
Okay, so 33, 32, 33, pretty typical. Okay, now we're going to switch to AM, and since this radio does not have an original AM-FM switch, we switch between AM and FM by turning the unit off and then right back on within about half a second. So here we go. Off, on. Okay, now you're hearing the familiar AM interference stuff.
we hope that develops, and that's about all the time we have here. Morning report.
Okay, there's one.
Justin, thank you.
Another one coming up soon.
To help change the life of a vulnerable
And there we are.
visit CASA.county.org.
And there are power lines about 15 feet away, so that's why you're hearing that hum. And there's nothing on the lower end of the band on the AM in this area. Maybe a bonus station or two. Okay, so we'll go back to FM. Off, on. And as is often the case with this model, the fader is shot. The faders are self-destructed by design. This fader is 50 years old, or very close to 50 years old, so it's pretty well shot. Thankfully, we have both a fader and a left-right balance control, which on this radio was only accessible with a screwdriver behind the knob. You had to pull the knob off, stick a screwdriver in there to adjust the balance. Well, you can adjust the balance from the front panel now without removing the knobs. And so, and as is shown on most of my other videos of conversions, to activate the front rear fader, we give the tone control 2 turns to the right, each time returning it to its original position. So of course you want to rotate her about the center position, give you some room to rotate it. So we're gonna go ahead and activate our front rear fader. We're gonna bring our output levels into the picture, output level meters into the picture, put our unit in the upper left hand corner, and it looks like I need to turn on my camera, so I will be right back. my apologies for that. I was doing some carpentry work and had to pull some stuff out of the wall. Alrighty, so we'll turn this thing up so we can hear all the meters, and we're at all 4 speakers pretty equal volume right now. So we're going to go ahead and activate that virtual front rear fader. Tone control, 2 turns to the right. Here we go. I'm going to start it off at about center.
Classic rock for northern.
Okay, there's our 4 beeps. Okay, and now this tone control is adjusting our front rear fader.
Guess who? Genesis
Front.
and Zeppelin on the way on the Wolf.
Rear
We have a whole new language.
Do you know what LOL
Front.
means?
Well, sure, that's laugh out loud.
and rear.
That one's
Okay, we're going to take her back to about center. I'm going to stop adjusting it, and you'll hear 1 beep.
WTF means welcome to.
There's your 1 beep letting you know that that setting has been saved, and you can now put your tone control how you like it, which for most people is all the way up. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to activate the left-right balance control. Same procedure, except we rotate the tone control to the left twice. Here we go.
Service and a low competitive price.
There's our 4 beeps.
You can shop
Okay, and now our tone control is adjusting the left-right balance.
and your schedule. Plus, when you shop at Findlay Toyota Flagstaff, you can feel good knowing your business is staying
Okay,
here
left.
in Flagstaff. Helping to
All the way right. Okay, back to center.
But I thought WTF.
And incidentally,
Flagstaff.
Yeah, that too. Findlay.
there's our 1 beep letting us know that the setting has been saved, and this is once again just a tone control. And incidentally, you see how evenly the virtual controls adjust. The original faders, they're so uneven it's not even funny. In a lot of cases, you'll have your fader all the way to the front, and the right rear speaker will still be pretty loud. So these faders are just pretty well shot, no matter how you slice it. Okay, well, last thing to check is the 8-track, and as you may have noticed, the stereo light did not come on when the FM stations came in. That's because this radio, in its original configuration, the stereo light lights up when there's a tape playing, because this is an AM-8 track, and AM is not stereo, at least not AM that's in common use. And so the only source of a stereo signal back then was the tape. So that's why the stereo button lights up with the tape. Some customers prefer that this lights up when an FM station is received. Some just kind of leave it to me, but I just went ahead and left it as original as we could make it. So we're going to go ahead and pop a tape in there, and I'm gonna check out some Tennessee Ernie Ford. We don't need the meters anymore, so we'll get rid of those. I'm gonna pop some Tennessee Ernie Ford in here.
With 2 great savings offers. You can eat.
And I'm just gonna switch tracks a bunch of times. Now you'll notice how bright and clean this 8-track sounds. It's because I installed my own hand-built tape head preamp in this thing. The original tape head preamp's pretty dull sounding. I've got a different design that sounds much better. Okay, and so the 8-track is obviously working fine. Now, one thing, this unit has an eject button, but these buttons are so thin and brittle after having the sun beaten down on them for 50 years. I really don't recommend you pressing this eject button, because this is not an electronic button. This is a mechanical button that you have to press it pretty hard, and because it's got a downward slant, if you press it in, it's going to want to bend downward, and it's very likely to snap off. So I really recommend just pulling the tape out like that. But to just show you that the eject button does work, I'll hit it and eject the tape. It pulls it out, or it pushes it out far enough for you to grab onto it. But I really don't recommend using that eject button. Okay, so there we are. So there's our radio back. And all the functions have been tested. This customer did not request the Bluetooth or USB or the aux input, so there's only the radio and 8-track sections to test. So I'm ready to move on to the next video. And this is Barry with Barry's 8-track and classic car radio repair. If you have an 8-track unit, either for home or for car use in need of service, or a classic car AM radio to which you would like to add FM, Bluetooth, USB, aux input, and maybe even a few other cool things, you can reach me at 928-533-9666. My website is in the description below. Thank you very much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.